When we first met, American Idol was huge. I remember our neighbors were having watch parties.
It was an incredibly exciting time in my life to move to Los Angeles and for us to meet and get married and what was going on professionally and having become a father. It was an incredible time.
I had been living there for 18 years at that point and Iain for 15. And he's like, I don't know, I've just been really thinking about like a smaller town, slower pace. What would that look like?
You know, schooling was a big priority for us with 2 young kids. Immediately we got very attracted to what was happening here with the school possibilities.
With my family, we used to come to Manchester a lot when I was a kid. So we started looking in Winhall. I did a lot of research about school choice. We ended up on Deer Street in the Golden Triangle. That was more like a warm Vermont wooden beam look. It turned out to be a great area, great schools, great people, a great community, and that was 2016. We had already gone down the VRBO lane and investing in real estate as an income source, hopefully, for our retirement. I started looking at land as a viable possibility, and that's when the thought process of buying a piece of land and putting a modular home on it came to me. So we drove up, and Iain was the first one. He said, Oh
no.
My God.
What have we done? I wish we'd never driven up that driveway. Now we're just absolutely haunted. And then we just thought, why has no one bought this? Why is it available in an environment where everything was selling so fast?
I said to Iain, how would you feel if I told you that property was sold? And he said, very bad. Obviously, I had already done some research into modular. You could kind of choose the finishes, and I thought, why not just get it without any? They weren't used to delivering houses without siding, roof, and I just kept saying, just a shell. There's 3 boxes, and they're all sort of staggered. They're made to have a continuous layout. So Iain's office is part of the kitchen. We have a steel beam that runs across so that we don't need pillars. When it's delivered, that's a completely open space. I think they put it together in one day, and then the next day they raised the roof. And it was 18 below on that day, just FYI. I happened to be working that day when they were delivering it. Somebody sent me a picture. Hey, we're gonna be done here soon. And the boxes weren't staggered. They were directly on top of one another. And I said, wait a second. They should be staggered. And they were like, what? And I drew like a photo and sent it to them. And they were like, oh, okay. I had this clear vision and I was willing to really problem solve in any way possible.
When it became clear that Kristin had such a flair for it, it was like, I don't want to mess with that. I really took a step back. It just makes it much more fun, and the result is much more singular and undiluted by trying to compromise across 2 people's opinions. It works so much better.